All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the FusionCast episode 3. I'm your host Fusion64. Along with me today is Rebel Blood 80, my co-host. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's happening?
Same old, same old. Doing a little bit of gaming. How about yourself?
Good, good.
Been fairly busy this week. Been smashing through a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch of stuff, mostly just Resident Evil games, but yeah, I managed to play about 3 or 4 different games. We had a little bit of some fairly big news, then it turned into small news, and we've got some decent topics to talk about.
Would you say disappointing news?
Yeah, well, I would say disappointing news. Before we get into that, do me a favor, hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're new here. And I was watching YouTube before we got on here, and in my recommended videos, there was the Dreamcast like a pre-launch video from CNN. I was watching; it was pretty funny. Brought back some memories. Every time I think I see the Dreamcast, I think that one time I saw, or I was with your sister. We were at your house, and you were playing. Do you remember what game you were playing?
No, this was years ago. Was it
Seaman.
Space Channel 5? Oh, it was Seaman.
Seaman. And as I remember seeing you, I'm like, all right, this guy's not a casual. He's a hardcore gamer if he's playing some Seaman.
That game was amazing. I still have that game.
I never even played it, but I remember reading about it and seeing it. The Dreamcast was awesome, dude. That was such a good
Dreamcast
system.
is phenomenal.
Man.
They need to do like the Sega Minis and stuff like that. They need a
Yep.
Dreamcast Mini
Right.
with Seaman on there.
Totally.
Ship it with a Dreamcast remote with a microphone.
That
Let me
was
talk to
like
my.
they had such good awesome like arcade games for that. Like Sega had like the best arcade games, seriously.
Capcom was amazing on that system.
Yep. Yeah.
Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Yep. Gonna take you for a ride. Did. Yeah, that game was awesome.
I almost booted up Marvel vs. Capcom 2 while I was waiting for us to begin tonight.
I remember I bought. I think I'm a scumbag, but I bought a imported Dreamcast, and then when the it came out in the U.S., I bought one from I think it was like Target and stuck the import one and returned it. I'm like, oh, this thing's not working.
You scumbag.
Then the Dreamcast got hacked, and everybody they went out. They didn't go out of business. They went third party.
Yeah, I should really dig mine out. And, well, computers really don't have CD drives anymore, but I'm sure I could find a CD drive to burn me some Dreamcast discs and try some of those harder to find items.
I want to find like a used Dreamcast in the box, buy a whole bunch of games, and have like a Dreamcast like live stream.
Yeah, I'll join you.
That would be pretty neat.
I go dig out I've got like 4 controllers. Too bad the light guns don't work.
Oh yeah,
House
that's
of the Dead
right.
2 was amazing.
Yeah, because they won't work on LCDs or OLEDs, will they?
No,
Damn, that sucks.
no. And I had a really nice CRTV that I threw out when we moved.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, those are expensive too, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm kicking myself now for sure.
Oh, that sucks. That's what sucks about. I mean, didn't they just re-release like the House of the Dead remake or whatever? And yeah, it kind of. I'd imagine it probably sucks to play without the light guns. Even like with the Wii remote, it's not the same.
Yeah, I put off buying it on there. I'm thinking about picking it up on PC though,
Yeah.
because using a mouse might
Oh yeah, I
feel
guess so.
more like the light gun.
Right, totally. Well, enough about the Dreamcast. We've got
Oh
some.
no, we could go all night
I
talking
know.
about the Dreamcast. Come on, you want to bring
Totally.
up Power Stone?
Right. I never played Power Stone.
No, Power Stone 2 is great.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, because it's got 4 players, but the first one's really good too.
Gotcha. I know that was one that I missed out on. I remember Ready to Rumble Boxing.
Yeah,
That
I
game was
own that.
good.
I don't. I think I might have sold that one though.
Mm.
It had some. You think they're commonplace today, but it actually had game-breaking glitches in it on release
Oh,
on the
really?
disc.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pre the patch era.
Some good, really good sports games on the Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, the Sega
The
NFL games.
Sega ones, yeah, that's where they started, and then they had like all the like the NBA Showtime and Blitz. Blitz was awesome on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was not one I got. I don't know. Maybe we should go to a swap meet and try to find
Right.
some of
Totally.
this stuff.
I think the retro market is like super high price now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
YouTube, I think, inflating the prices, and places like DK Oldies with their,
Yep.
well, I can't call them scams because I never bought from them, but
Everybody
I've
does
seen
it.
plenty.
Everybody does a DK Oldies video. I need to do one. I
Yeah,
bought this Dreamcast and look what they did.
it came with cockroaches in it.
Right. What have you been playing this week? Anything good?
Why don't you start? I'm curious
Okay,
to hear about. I know what you've been playing. I've
yeah,
seen it.
I have
Curious about it.
I have been playing some more Metroid Prime the past couple days, and it is very good, but it is challenging. It's not difficult. It's just like challenging in the fact that you're always going backwards to find like a door that you missed when you get a power up, and it's like, all right, is it this door? Is it this door? Is it this door? And it's challenging slash annoying maybe. And then I feel like it takes about 20 minutes after you haven't figured it out. You get like a little beep, and it shows like a hint basically, and that's like, okay, I got to go somewhere over here. But I mean,
And
it's good, but I just did you see like all the reviews? It's got like a 97 now on Metacritic, the remaster or whatever you want to call it.
yeah, I'm gonna have to
And
pick that one up.
I'm like, I can't imagine somebody who's because I mean, a lot of these reviewers are super young. I can't imagine these people are reviewing this like this is great because it totally needs like playing it now. It totally needs a fast travel system.
I could come over and I could bring my GameCube and you could try the original. See how it compares.
Yeah, I totally would like to do that because I mean, I think graphically they did make it look a lot better.
Well, I'm
It's
willing to bet.
just it's just like a lot of old basically things that they did in games before now that there's no fast travel, which sucks. So quality of life things that it's missing out on, where it's kind of like it gets a little annoying.
But they did do those sweet updates where you could use both joysticks to move
Yes,
and look.
right, that I mean, they'll give them that. They did do that, which is nice. But uh yeah, it's really good. I mean, I wouldn't, if I was reviewing it, I wouldn't be giving it like a 97. I think it's an 8.5, 9. But uh I think I don't know how far I'm at on that. I probably still have a good probably 5 hours left in it, I think. And do you want to go next, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, no, I'll talk about a game I got.
Okay,
Well, I bought, played, and beat. I don't remember when I bought it, but have you heard of The Chant?
I have not.
So I saw this game and it looked like the guys that did Until Dawn and what are they called? The Dark
Oh,
Pictures
Supermassive.
anthologies,
Yeah,
Supermassive. Yeah,
yeah.
it looked like them, and I thought it was them. It's about this woman that flees a cult, and then you pick up years later playing as a girl. And I thought it was going to be heavy into the cult stuff and like Lovecrafty, and it really wasn't. I still enjoyed it, but I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it because I didn't like any of the characters in the game.
Mm.
I didn't care for the ending. It's got three endings. I'm close to getting all the achievements in it, so I think I might just do it. But the one ending I got kind of sucked. It was like 10 seconds of like, oh, this happened. And I was like, oh, played the whole game and chose all those options to get to this point. But it's kind of a survival horror, not in the vein of Resident Evil. You craft things like incense that you beat your enemies with, and fire sticks. It's got like a spiritual thing going on like that.
Is it like Eternal Darkness almost?
Uh, I can't say for sure because I don't really remember much of Eternal Darkness.
Okay. You playing
But
this on
it's
Steam?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it was okay. It was maybe about 6 hours long. Definitely not worth the money.
Oh no.
I do not recommend paying full price for this thing because it's only like 6 hours long. I got it on a super sale, but it was okay. It
Six
was
hours.
just
I mean,
okay.
it's not. Yeah. At least it wasn't like 40.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on why I don't like it, and I can't put my finger on why I like it. It's just a passable game. I spent my weekend playing it, and yeah, nothing memorable about it. I'll probably forget it in a couple of weeks.
Gotcha. Other than that, I'm trying to think of. I think I only played. Oh, I played 4 games this week. So if I am still going on the House. No, Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners on PSVR 2. I am close to the end on that. In like certain games where they're like, "Are you sure you want to start this mission? Because there's no going back." So I'll probably be able to finish that here in the next 2 days. Probably depends. It's just hard playing VR really because it's if you have, well, especially if you have a family, it's like, all right, honey, you take care of the kids and the dogs and everything else. I'm gonna go put this headset on and I'm gonna check out reality. So it's like,
Excuse me while I vanish.
yeah, and then all of a sudden you just get hit in the sack or something like you asshole. So I mean, my VR time is few and far between, but I'm pretty close to that. Should be able to wrap up. There's still a lot of toys that I can get in that game by upgrading. Like I still haven't gotten the katana and some more bombs and stuff. So I kind of want to do a little bit more stuff before I finish that. So I bet you probably another 3 hours I'll be done with that. And I don't know what I'm going to be on to with the VR. The next one, maybe there's this kayak game that I think it's kayak VR. It's supposed to be pretty decent and pretty good looking. Or I might just jump on Resident Evil 8 and play that in VR.
Have they released Beat Saber for it
They
yet?
have not yet. But
That is a bummer.
I have played that on the original PSVR and I played it on the Quest. So it's like, I'm not dying for it. I'm not dying for it.
That is one of the few VR games I'm interested in.
It's really good. It is really good. I've played a decent amount of it. And I've bought like the DLC on both on PlayStation and on Quest too, so I'm like, I'm not dying for it. I'm looking to try some other stuff. There's that Star Wars game I might try out after this, so we'll see.
All right, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'll like VR. I might be one of those people that get instantly sick the moment
Yeah.
I put the headset on.
Yeah. I mean,
I have to try it
that's like
before I
like
buy it.
the difficulty with making like a VR game is like you can't. People think like, oh, there's no real games. It's like, well, I bet you developers are probably like, well, we don't want to make like Doom in 2016 in VR where it's like super fast and you're flying because you're probably a good chunk of your audience will throw up. So, everybody's kind of making games that are a little slower and.
Yeah, that would be all I need is be like, hey, come over,
Right,
check
let's
out
just
this
try
VR
this.
game, and then they vomit all over my house.
Like something like this that's on the screen right now, Switchback. Like, not it's a really good game. I think it's
Was it
it's
by
an okay game.
Supermassive?
Yeah, yeah. So
I
like
thought it
something
was.
like
Okay.
this where you're standing still and you're kind of just riding and shooting is a good game to start off in VR. You definitely don't want to start off like in a race car game because that's one that can get you sick.
That's another one I'm really interested in trying, though, is
Although-
racing. Being able to turn your head and look around inside the vehicle.
Although I did like kind of read that the higher frame rates will help alleviate motion sickness. So I mean, PSVR 1, I think a lot of it was 60 frames, and so I think I'm pretty sure you get 90 on this one. So I think that will alleviate a lot of the motion sickness because I know I did get a little nauseous playing that Drive Club VR on the original PlayStation VR. I never got to where I was ready to throw up, just a little queasy. That's it. You got to get your VR legs in you.
I imagine so.
Yeah. So, what else? You got anything else?
Yeah, actually, I believe I cannot confirm this because I'm still too early in the game, but I believe they patched Chrono Trigger on Steam and fixed the achievements.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I went back to that and I started playing that a little bit more. And I got so the Steam version. Have you ever played Chrono Trigger?
I have not. Is that the sequel to Chrono Cross, or is it Chrono Cross sequel to Chrono Trigger?
They're not direct sequels. I don't remember the order. There's like things that tie them together, but it's not like within the same world.
Gotcha.
I have to play Chrono Cross again.
So is it like basically like Final Fantasy 7 to 8 to 9? Basically, it's kind of
No, I don't want to put something out there and it be wrong because I played Chrono Cross when I was like 18 years old, and I got the remaster, but I haven't played through it again. So I know there's something that links the two games together, but I don't remember what it is. But Chrono Trigger is from the Super Nintendo. It's a JRPG, so it's from that era of Square, and it is probably one of my top 5 games of all time.
Oh,
And they released a version of it on the PlayStation, and they included these anime cutscenes while I was playing it the other day, and one of those cutscenes popped up, and I almost jumped out of my chair and was like, "Yeah!" Because they included the version with the cutscenes and not just ported over, well, badly ported over the SNES version. So I was kind of excited to see that cutscene.
mm. Which was the one they kind of like chibi-fied a few years ago? Didn't they remake one? It was like some
It was a
really
couple of the Final Fantasies.
was
Final
it?
Fantasy
Okay.
VI
I
was one
thought
of
there
them
was
where
a
they.
Chrono. I thought it was there was a Chrono game that they
Or are you
like.
thinking of Final Fantasy 15 where they made that Switch version? Or
No,
that
no, there was a Chrono game where they kind of like they either remastered it or remade it, and it was kind of chibi or something.
I know they screwed up Final Fantasy VI. They like remodeled the characters' pixels in one of the versions. I have both versions. The original Steam version, which was also an Android port or a phone port,
Mm,
and I got the new Pixel remaster, which is coming to PS5 and Switch. And I
interesting.
highly recommend the. Well, no, I take that back. I do not recommend them yet until they release because there are issues with them currently on Steam where there's some stuttering and things like that. Hopefully they fix it for the release on because I really want it on the Switch.
Oh yeah, that's
I
what
want,
the 1 through 6 one they just announced. Was it yesterday or the day before or something?
yeah, the Pixel
Okay, yeah,
remasters.
yeah, okay.
I think those would be
Because that's only on
great.
PC and mobile now, I think, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha. And yeah, they're skipping Xbox again.
yeah.
There's something up with them, which is weird.
Like
Like they release Crisis Core and then they skip like a whole bunch of other stuff, and they're very weird with what they release on there and what they don't.
I think
Or like they released Octopath 1, but now they're not releasing Octopath Traveler 2.
well that didn't release on Xbox at launch.
No, yeah, I mean when
It came later.
right, right, but it did come. So and
Yes.
then like PlayStation, they never released Octopath Traveler 1, but now they released Octopath Traveler 2 on PlayStation. It's really weird.
Really, part one's not on there? Well, you know
No,
what? Square Enix is just a fucked
they're
up
yeah,
company.
they are screwed up.
I was on Steam the other day or today, and they just released they did a game with Koei Tecmo
Okay.
called Strangers in Paradise.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Origin. I think
Origins.
it's a
Yeah,
retelling of the very
the
first
first
game
one.
from the Nintendo.
Yeah, I played the demo of that, and I'm like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah, it seemed fine. I played the demo too, and it just seemed fine.
Yeah.
But they just released that on Steam. That's been out for
Really?
how long now? Yeah, it just came
Wow,
out on Steam like today.
that's crazy. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like where are their priorities? I
Yeah,
know
I
they
know.
signed some deals with Sony where Sony will have limited time exclusivity to a game, or just have the game period, like Final Fantasy 16.
I think they're
But
just looking for deals. They're like, okay, we got a game. We want it. Let's make a deal here. And so it just comes to this random platform. Then the next game, they're like, okay, what do you got? We're looking to make a deal here. And then okay, we'll give you this. Okay, okay. And it comes to this platform. Like they probably wanted money from Xbox to bring Octopath Traveler 2, because I'm sure they probably paid them to get Octopath Traveler 1 on a Game Pass, and so they probably wanted that. And maybe
we
they
need to fill
didn't.
our pockets so we could fail at this
Right.
NFT shit,
I know.
which they're still going hardcore into.
They should just like shutter Sony needs to just buy them and then have Square have three different like development teams, one for Final Fantasy, one for Dragon Quest, and one for like the like 2D HD projects. That's it. Boom, there you go. That's all we're releasing.
At this point, I hope Sony buys them.
So sorry about all the other Star Oceans, the other ones, and I'm sorry you don't have a big enough audience. I don't
Sony
know.
buys them, keep releasing the stuff on PC,
Yeah,
and I'll be happy.
right.
I don't need the stuff on Xbox.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox. I don't need it on Xbox.
Right, right. So, what else you got? Anything else?
Uh,
I got two big ones. They all connect together though, so saving those for what you get you through your stuff first.
I don't have too much else. I did start playing Humankind again a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
You probably haven't heard of this game. You're not into the.
I'm no. That's not it. I don't think it's a fusion game.
You are not. Mr. Fusion is not into
No.
the strategy games.
No.
It's
The
a.
strategy game like a Fire Emblem or like coming up soon, Advance Wars.
Yeah, you like those games. I don't understand how you don't like games like Civilization and stuff like
Because
that.
they're made easy for like Nintendo. They make it for dumb people.
You're talking about Fire Emblem
Yes.
is made easy?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, you don't have to manage like an economy and
No, I don't want
towns
that.
rioting
No.
and burning down everything you built. Okay, yeah, I'll give that to you. Well, Humankind
the first
is
one on Switch, they were like, here's a school. We're gonna teach you you're gonna teach some kids, and it's like I'm like, okay, nope, I'm out. I just want to do battles and have a little bit of dialogue. That's it.
I still got to play that game, but the cutscenes are just too long.
Right.
I don't have enough time. My Switch is primarily used when we go to the grocery store. I sit in the car and play my Switch.
That's funny. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. Humankind. It's a 4X game. You build a civilization. It's really cool. Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Okay.
I enjoy it. It's a good. It doesn't require much effort, and you can just kind of put it on and chill. It's a turn-based, so you take your time.
Solid. Okay. Well, I smashed through Resident Evil.
Smash.
I smashed through Resident Evil 4 this past week. A little over 17 and some change hours, and I finished that up Friday. That's going to be hard for anything to top that for Game of the Year this year. It's going to be really difficult because it was like 17 and a half glorious hours of just, fun. I don't really have any negatives really to say about that game, other than did you hear how the voice actor for Ada was getting like hate mail and like threats and stuff, so she had to like close her socials.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Did she
she's
say
bad.
something?
No, she's just bad in the game. I think it's a new actress from Resident Evil 2 remake to this one, I think. And she was not really good, but I mean, sending like people threats and stuff is stupid as hell. Like, so
That's ridiculous.
right. But I mean, that would be like the only negative I would say about the game was her voice. I mean, it wasn't great, but it's not like something you had to get upset about. But overall, like, dude, this game is so good. It's so damn good. Great. It's so damn great. Just like it's constantly moving. And it's like we don't get everything is so open world now. I feel like these games like this are a rarity.
I am highly looking forward to playing that game. Like last week, I told you I tried to play the original on Steam,
Yeah.
and the tank controls were just so clunky, and I was like, my hands cannot get used to this because I'm so used to playing modern games. I'm like, I don't have the time to devote to relearn this game. So I'm
for the original 4 is tank controls.
yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like that one was like third person controls, wasn't it?
You still stop and stand still and aim.
Oh yeah, you can't move while you're shooting and stuff, right? Yeah,
Right.
gotcha. Okay.
That's what I mean by not having like modern controls, not being able to dual stick it, as it were.
That game's on everything. It was on mobile too.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? VR, mobile.
Yeah,
Do you have the VR one?
I sold my Oculus Quest 2, but I did buy it and I played like the beginning 30 minutes of it, and I just never got back to it.
I'm gonna have to come over and play the PlayStation VR 2 before you sell that.
No, I won't. I don't think I'll sell that. I still have my original PlayStation VR 1.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I still have it up there. I just won't ever hook it up because it's too much of a pain to hook up.
Does that work on the PS5?
It does, but you need like an adapter and the PlayStation 4 camera. So you have to like mail in for an adapter.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But dude, this game it's just it's so much fun. Like the story's not great. It's goofy, campy, it's whatever, but I mean it's fun at least. Gameplay's fun. You're never like stopped and really like not doing a lot. There's
And
no
we
like open world where it's like you talk to this guy, then you've got to like a 2 minute like travel to get to this section to talk to this guy to get this quest and then to go here. It's oh man, it's so good.
and
I'm
we
not.
take a moment and just bask in how awesome Capcom has been lately.
I know, dude. That RE engine is so damn good. They've just
And
been
then you
on
have
fire.
games like The Last of Us coming out on PC, and it's just a broken mess.
And like it's funny because I'm thinking about The Last of Us, and it's a phenomenal game. But it's like I think even when they were
I disagree.
developing it, they're like, this game is not. It's not supposed to be fun. And it's like, well, I don't know if RE4 is. It's not like it's a different kind of game. But I want games to be fun now. I don't know. It's weird. But I plowed through that and I started over. I'm playing it again. Actually, I think I'm about halfway through my second playthrough on professional.
Nice.
So
You know what has me super interested in that is I saw online that if you go into New Game Plus and you have the sniper rifle and you go to that part of the village where you first get assaulted,
Yep.
you could actually snipe the bell and ring the bell and end the scenario before it even starts.
I did that. I got up there and hit the bell with the sniper rifle, and yeah, it rang the bell, and they all left.
Little touches like that is what makes Capcom awesome currently.
I mean, I didn't do it before they like came after me, but I would manage to like start it on my own. But yeah, that was really cool. Like
That's like
professional is like harder. It's harder, but you start with all like obviously you start with all your stuff because it's New Game Plus. But I've got like all my guns upgraded to where they can shoot through 5 different guys. But the problem is with that is you get all those sections where Ashley gets picked up, and I've killed Ashley at least like 30 times in this run, like halfway through because the bullets will shoot through 5 different guys, and she's like in the back and it hits her and she's dead.
well in the original she sometimes deserved it. Does she deserve it in this new one?
No, she's better in this one.
Okay,
She's
good.
definitely better in this one. Yeah. But I think a lot of my deaths have come from me killing Ashley on accident, unfortunately. But there's a whole bunch of
On accident.
there's a whole bunch
Unlikely.
of different, yeah. There's a bunch of different guns that I picked up this time, and I got some new outfits and stuff. And it's just, I mean, obviously it's so much fun. I'm still playing it again. So I went and because I did that video where I ranked the modern Resident Evil games. If you haven't seen that, go check that video out. We'll probably just spoil it right now, but I wanted to see how Resident Evil 2 stacked up to this one, so I went and beat that over the weekend in about 5.5 hours. And yeah, that game is amazing as well.
Yeah, it is.
Very different though.
That burger, man, in the beginning, that burger looked amazing. That's still in my mind from when they first showed the remake. I want to say it was at E3. I don't remember, but I was just like, that's an amazing looking burger.
That's funny.
That's when you first knew the RE engine was going to be awesome.
Uh-huh. That I think I played through Claire's scenario B because I had when the game originally came out, I played through both A's and then I played through Leon's B, and this time I went through Claire's B scenario. And yeah, about 5.5 hours, and it's a much smaller game.
That's probably the only bad thing about that game is that it's not like the original where doing the A, B scenarios affected the game differently.
Right.
If it could have only been a little bit closer to that,
it
would have been a perfect game.
I played that original so many times as a kid just to like get all the different scenarios and ran through it to get a hunk. And yeah, this one, what's not much different. But it's like like starting off that game, you have like no ammo in the beginning, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't kill anything. It's like completely opposite from RE4. It's so much more tight. The corridors are, and there's a lot of jump scares. And so like, yeah, I don't know. After going through all of that, I think I put Resident Evil 4 ahead of 2 by a hair. But I think that might change depending on what day you ask me. I don't know. Maybe just because I've played RE2 so many damn times.
I might put the Classic 4 ahead of the Classic 2 as well, though.
Uh,
Because I played a lot of Resident Evil 4.
I didn't play a ton of the Classic 4. Like I did get to the second Krauser fight, and I don't remember if I beat the game or not, but I've played this village scenario like 30 times on multiple different platforms, though. So the funny thing was, because I've played that village scenario a ton of times on the original, when the demo came out and I played through it, I'm like, okay, this is all right. I don't know if I'm gonna get this at launch, and then I just end up did, and I ended up like absolutely like loving it. So I think my final rank was 4 to 7, 8, and 3.
3, yeah, three's kind of a letdown. It's not a letdown. It's just the original 3 wasn't
It
as
doesn't have a lot to
good
go
as
off
the
of.
original 2.
Yeah, and it's
Where-
3 is short too, really short. Like I want to say like 4 plus hours probably.
When's your video coming out to rank the entire Resident Evil series?
Oh, I'm not doing that. It's too much work.
Oh, come on. You got 4, 5, 6,
Yeah, no.
Code Veronica.
I haven't played those in so long. Like I wouldn't. And like yeah, now all of the older ones because of how they control. Like you just said, you couldn't get through. It was tough to go back to the original 4 because of the tank controls. Imagine going through like the originals with the like real tank controls and not having like an reticle to aim.
Well, they do have that remake of the original Resident Evil that
Well, that
kind
one's
of got rid of the tank controls.
yeah, but there's no like aiming on that one still either. It's not like you kind of just aiming into space basically.
Well, you could point up and down.
Yeah,
You could shoot a zombie in the nuts.
can you? Probably.
I
not.
don't know. I just know you could aim up and down
Yeah,
and
I
straight
guess.
forward.
Yeah, that's funny. I played that
And
one
then,
quite a few times. That one, remember when that one first came out? Like I was so hyped about that. The original is one of my favorite games, and yeah, they did. I mean, they did a great job on that on the GameCube.
Amazing GameCube game.
Yep.
It might have been one of the first GameCube games with the mature rating
Right.
to
yeah.
show that Nintendo wasn't playing
They're
around
edgy.
anymore.
They're edgy.
Yeah, we got blood and zombies and guns.
Right. But yeah, I think 7 was like I played 7 all in VR. That one terrified me. The last third of the game on 7 was kind of weak. 8's good, not as good as 7. I think they toned down like a lot of the like horror elements to make it's not nearly as scary as 7. So that's why, and it's like in the daytime a lot of it. So that's why I would put that one below 7. And like we just talked about 3. 3 is like super short. So that's why I would rank that one there. And yeah, just been I think I might hopefully go to 8 or the Mercenaries comes out tomorrow for RE4, so I'm excited about that. So this baby is going to be staying on the hard or SSD for a while. And then I believe there's that Ada Wong expansion I believe that they're supposed to come out with. I don't know if it was officially announced, but I know it's been data mined at the very least.
Are these all free?
The Mercenaries, I'm pretty sure is free. I'm sure the Ada Wong one will probably be paid, which I don't care. I'll pay for it, whatever. I never originally played it, so.
Have you played the DLC for 8?
I have not.
I'm wondering how that is. I have 8.
I think I've heard it's short, and I don't know if it's. I don't remember hearing rave things about it, but I should go back and play that. No, it's not in VR, but I think that's where they takes the game in third person, I believe. I thought 8 was good, but so like I wasn't really in a hurry to like pick it up. So that's kind of why. But I might.
Yeah, I've been holding off on it too.
It might.
I have 8, but just not the DLC.
It might change my mind on how good the game is playing in VR. We'll see. Supposedly it looks really good, and it's a great port. So excited to try that out.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how it is.
Sure will.
As a non-VR owner.
Right, totally. Are you ready to get into the meat and potatoes of the show?
What kind of meat?
Ooh, well, it started off in steak and turned into corned beef hash, but maybe some.
Corned beef hash could be good.
It can be, I guess. Like this could also be good too. So,
I doubt it.
so I think what it started off. I saw this last Saturday. Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming, who is pretty reliable. He's got some decent scoops. He's not like a clickbaiter. He's reliable. So he had a stream, and he was talking about some PlayStation hardware that has not been not even talked about in the media or anything. Nobody knows about it, and it was April Fool's, so people weren't sure if he was being truthful. And so he kind of came out on Twitter on Sunday and reiterated that this basically, there is some new hardware that nobody's heard about, and that was it. And on April Fool's, we did get did you say, a trailer for this? How do you pronounce it? Asus or Asus?
I'm not going to open my mouth, even though I'm a PC builder and owner. I don't want to get it wrong.
You're a PC gamer. You're supposed to know this stuff.
I actually don't own any Asus products.
Asus, whatever, Asus, ROG or ROG Ally, their Steam Deck competitor, Handheld, they released it. Well, I don't know why they waited till April Fool's to release this trailer. That just seems dumb, but whatever. And it turns out it's a real thing. There's a landing page on Best Buy's website for it. And it is supposedly possibly up to 2 times the power of performance of a Steam Deck. We'll see. But I think there's been 2 guys on YouTube that got to try out some prototypes, and they were really impressed with it.
Yeah, some not very well known people.
Right. Well, Linus Tech Tips is pretty is known well. The other guy, yes. I never heard of the other guy who it was. Some Dave something. But anyways, I
was just joking there. I know okay. You're not. I'm into the tech videos, so okay. I watch a lot of them. And
I didn't know who the one guy was. The Dave guy. Do you know who he was? Did you see that one, or you said that? But you saw the Linus Tech Tip one, right?
Yeah, I saw the Linus one. I'm not sure. I would have to see this Dave guy you're talking about. It wasn't on my feed, so it might not be somebody I'm subscribed to.
So actually, I mean, that what did you think of, before we get into it, what did you think of that Handheld?
I was instantly sold. Take my money, put it in my pocket. Let me load Steam big picture on there. And then the icing on the cake is
Game Pass.
Out of the box Game Pass.
Windows 11, right? Although, doesn't some of the Windows 11 stuff or games on Windows, Xbox games not run, or there's issues with it, people don't like it, or
As a person that has read that stuff and has avoided Windows 11, I don't have an answer for you.
Okay.
Because of those rumors. So I'm still on Windows 10.
Okay, but anyways, the Game Pass thing was instantly oh, okay, all right. You've got, as someone who doesn't play PC games, you got my attention there. That's neat. If the Steam Deck was could play Game Pass games easily, I'm sure it probably could. But
it can. You can, I believe, side load Windows on there, so it runs Linux and Windows, and
not
then you
side loading anything. Sorry.
All right,
but
it can with some work, I believe.
Right. Okay.
And I heard that they're in talks to bring Game Pass to the Steam Deck.
Okay.
Which would it would be cool,
but
it wouldn't change the fact that I want this new Asus product.
But this thing should be a Game Pass right out of the box, easy Game Pass. This Asus ROG Ally.
It should come with a free at least month of Game Pass.
And they should have Game Pass on the box. It shouldn't even be that should be the name of the thing basically. But anyways, so that thing came out, that video, and we had people talking about it. And then Monday there was a post on Reddit r/gaming leaks and rumors, with someone who had their hands on with it, who gave a little bit more detail, saying that it comes out in October for $649 for 512 gigabytes and a terabyte's $899, I believe he said it was. Yada yada yada, whatever. That's not the important part. The important part is where he said that the reason why they're partnering with Microsoft on this is because Sony has their own handheld that they are working on.
Boo!
And so that happened to pick up a little bit of steam. And yeah, the internet started going crazy. You were talking about Vita 2. I was talking about Vita 2, PSP 2, all that fun stuff. So, and then...
Though, I knew right at the start that Vita 2 was going to be wrong, because there's no way...
Yeah, they wouldn't name it a Vita 2.
Well, not only that, but there's no way they're going to release a system in this market and do cartridges again. So I knew it wasn't going to be exactly like the Vita. I knew it was going to be some sort of PS5 device where it just shares your library. But what it wound up being, what you're about to tell us, is far worse than anything I expected.
100%. Yeah. When I was talking about maybe like a Vita 2 or a PSP 2, I was thinking more of the lines of like, it's a product that is in between a PS4 and PS5 power-wise, probably. Something like a Series S, maybe. Power-wise, and then it can play, they'd have to go in there, you know how like the Steam Deck has Steam Deck verified games or whatever like that. It's like, okay, Horizon Zero Dawn is PSP 2 verified. Boom, it just downloads from, like, they're not making any new games specifically for this thing. It just shares your library. So I'm like, oh man, that's what I'm thinking. This could be awesome.
You know why they cannot do that, and why the Steam Deck is able to do that, is because those games
they're optimized for PC. Yeah, they're only for PlayStation hardware. Yeah,
so that's why they would millions have to go of variations.
Right.
For PC allows them to make the Steam Deck, and you could downgrade the games to the Steam Deck's level, but those games for PS5 are only designed for the PS5. So unless it was,
they'd have to go in and optimize each
incredible piece of hardware. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
And there's no way Sony's going to do that in this market. That's why I was expecting something.
Well, they have to I mean, if you
kind
look
of like
if you look at the Xbox's ecosystem, they've got to optimize for 2 platforms.
But yeah, they're a special case because they have those 2 platforms.
Right. So I mean, they could introduce another one, like, hey guys,
they're not going to do that.
I know, but you could dream, right? That would be the end goal right there.
I think ultimately,
I'm not a dev, but I don't know how
the end goal, no matter what people were expecting, is what we're winding up with.
Right. Totally. I know. I'm not a dev. I don't know how much dev time that would take to be like, here, let's take Horizon Forbidden West, lower all these specs, I don't know, get it to 30 frames, take out, this, and that, and see if we can run it on this machine here. I mean, it could already run.
But then, would you want to play that game?
Well, I mean, you look at the Steam Deck. It's not like it's not killing a lot of brand new games. It's running a lot of brand new games at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, but even if I had a Steam Deck, I would only be putting games on there that I wanted to be playing on the go. I wouldn't be putting Cyberpunk on there trying to play.
And that's why a Steam Deck is less. It's not something that I'm super interested in, because like I don't want to buy. Like when we went on our vacation last month, I was like, and still in the middle of playing Hogwarts. Now, if I had like this device that I'm talking about, I could have taken that with me and continued my save and played a lesser version of that. But like I wasn't going to go and buy like the Steam Deck and a Steam Deck version and have a different, something from a different ecosystem to play. So that's why, I mean, I see people who play on PC as Steam Deck is viable, because it's the same game, same ecosystem, you cross-play, cross-buy, yada, yada, yada. So
I agree with you, and I think that's why this is going to fail.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why this is going to fail. But so then everybody was talking about Vita 2, and then the next day, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Or it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Tom Henderson came out, and he dropped the knowledge of what he exactly had, and it turns out that this is, well, let's rewind that. I think it was that night that I posted the video of the Vita 2. Jeff Grubb came out and he said he heard it was a streaming only cloud device. And I'm like, womp womp. I don't want that. I don't want a cloud device. And then so I went to bed, woke up the next morning, and then Tom dropped his story on his website, Insider Gaming, that this is a remote play device that requires you to have a PS5. It's going to remote play up to 1080 60. And it's basically like, from what he's heard, it's like a DualSense controller with an 8-inch LCD. Let me repeat, an 8-inch LCD screen in the middle, not an OLED, an LCD. Yeah, it's going to have like the haptics and stuff like that in the controller. And yeah, that's when everybody, I didn't really see, I saw about one person out of every 10 say that this was something they were interested in.
Nobody's interested in it.
I know. Those are
People that
probably
are
the
saying they're
hardcore
interested in
fanboys.
it are the hardcore Sony fanboys,
Right,
which
totally.
if you're one of those and watching, I've got nothing to say because device is going to be stupid.
Well,
I could see use cases for it for myself.
if there was like if this thing was like $100, I could see like, or $120. Let's say $120. I could be like, okay, you know what? And I can use this as a controller. Like, say if I'm playing whatever on PlayStation and this is my controller I'm using it for, then I could see like maybe buying it because it has some extra functionality to it. Like if somebody wants to use the TV, which I have my own TV, nobody's using my damn TV. But in case they did, I could, okay, let me pull out my controller. Or, sometimes I do like to play the Switch in bed or whatever. I mean, I could see
But
that.
you already have that Switch, and you already have games on the Switch.
Right, but maybe I want to play. I'm forced to play those games on there when I could be like playing Resident Evil 4 in bed. These are like very, like used cases to where like I could see this thing being somewhat useful.
Which is
But
the same
that's
use case for me, but I have a way for this to make an impact, for it to matter. We were talking about the Dreamcast when we first started this podcast today, right?
Yes.
You remember the VMU?
I do.
Now, if new games, I'm not saying have to go back and make old games, but if next year's Madden came out and I could select my next play on that touchscreen, and you were sitting on the couch next to me and you couldn't see what I was selecting, or other uses like that, that would save this device. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen though.
So what you're saying, like if I was playing like a game like Mario Maker and I could do my levels on the little screen and watch it on the big screen as I'm designing them, almost like a Wii U tablet, something like that.
Yes.
There are PlayStation's making the Wii U of PlayStation peripherals. Everybody.
Oh, we know they're not doing that.
Yeah,
But that's the only way they would get money out of me
right.
is. But the game would also have to matter that incorporates it, right? Like
and
I'm
it's
not
gotta
an
be
every
cheap,
year
too.
Madden person. Yeah,
It's got to be
$100
cheap
or
too.
under.
I don't think it's going to be $100.
No, I think they're going to market this as
$150 easily.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're going to market it as the same as the Xbox Elite Controller 2.
It's probably why
Probably
it's an
between
LCD.
150, 180. I feel like people are going to snap it in their hands because of the screen.
Right. That's probably why it's an LCD screen to keep the cost down.
And then what's the battery life on this thing?
Right. I mean, because the battery life isn't great on their other stuff.
It's not great on the PS5 controller.
No, yeah.
I can't play for more than 4 to 5 hours without the thing needing a charge.
It probably needs a Wi-Fi chip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing it's remote play, so can it? I'm guessing it's got to be able to be used outside of your home, right?
No, I doubt that. I mean,
you can remote play outside of your home if you're, but then
if you're at a Starbucks with internet connection, but if you're me, Mr. Rebel Blood 80, sitting in the parking lot waiting on your wife to buy groceries.
Right, it does you no good.
Nope.
You can just
Or
remote
the Switch.
play from your phone like you can now. It's like there's already devices that do this. Like I don't understand who is this for? Because you can do this already on your tablet or your phone if you bring a controller and a clip.
This is just going to be another PlayStation TV.
Right.
It's going to be another Vita. That's why I'm so mad at this, because I was an early adopter of the PlayStation Vita. I still have my Vita. I only have like 4 games for it.
Yeah.
And then they killed it, and it was an awesome system.
Like what? I'm surprised that it won't do cloud streaming.
That
That's
is why the
very
Asus
surprising.
is going to have the upper hand if it launches with Game Pass, and I want to see like 3 months of free Game Pass included in the box or something like that.
Right.
That would make it really appetizing, because you know what? You go on your PC and you go to Xbox website, you could actually play Xbox 360 games and original Xbox games over the cloud because of their cloud-based services,
Right.
as well as the games you could download to your device and play without an internet connection. I'm assuming it probably still has to do some sort of handshake check, but you don't need a constant connection once you're in the game, I believe.
But even like the streaming stuff, I mean, even if it had like the PlayStation Now streaming or whatever they call it, PlayStation Plus Extra Essential, like that streaming, it's still not that. It's I feel, at least speaking from someone in the U.S., right? It's still not super like exciting.
It's not.
You know, maybe maybe it's a Japan thing. Like maybe people in Japan will like this, but like you say, you still need a PS5, really. So it's like,
or maybe people in big cities where Wi-Fi is everywhere,
right?
But yeah, speaking of that PlayStation service, I played the original God of War. I believe it was the PS3 remaster version. It only allows you to stream it,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get past the part on the boat where you're supposed to kick the boxes to avoid the archers because of the latency.
Right.
And I actually pay for some pretty darn good internet.
Yeah.
And my connection is actually hardwired, and there was just too much latency that I just kept getting bombarded with arrows, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done.
See, that's the problem with like the cloud streaming, is like I feel like a lot of times it obviously you need good internet, but I feel like sometimes you could have good internet and it still doesn't matter. Like there was a couple of times where I tried some of these Switch demos on their cloud network, and they worked great. And then every time I've used Xbox Game Pass, their cloud thing, to try it out on my iPad or whatever with a controller, I'd get into the game, it'd go for like 30 seconds, and then it would like crash out on me. I couldn't really do anything. I've tried PlayStations, and it's functional. And then there's been other times where I tried the Switches and it wouldn't work well, and then Xbox worked well, and it's like, okay, I'm doing it from the same place. Like, it's just a crapshoot. Like, I don't know if I would ever pay for that service that was streaming only.
Still a little too unreliable.
Right.
I've used the Xbox service on my phone streaming. I had issues connecting my Bluetooth controller to that service, and then it was super laggy. But then I used it on my computer to play Elder Scrolls Morrowind,
Classic.
the original Xbox game. Yeah, and that worked perfectly fine.
Yeah, there's gonna be certain games that'll work fine for. Like, you could play like something like Octopath on the streaming service to be totally fine.
But yeah, I haven't really tried any fighting games or anything like that on the service.
No, why would you
But
really?
everything I tried on the PlayStation service just seemed a little too laggy. Maybe it's my fault for trying all action games. I tried what was that game called? Heavenly Sword?
Sword, yeah. I played Resistance 3 for a while on there. It was pretty decent. It's just it's a PlayStation 3 game, and it was,
I was just about to add, maybe it's just the slight latency, along with it being a release PlayStation 3 game, that I couldn't get into it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, who knows? Like I said, it's just a crapshoot depending on,
a bunch
of
depending
different
on
factors.
the weather outside.
Right, totally.
The wind blowing too much. Remember them days?
Yep, exactly.
Some of your viewers might be too young to remember a parent yelling at you to get up and go move the antenna.
Did you open up the thing, pull the game out, and blow in the cartridge?
Oh yeah, I have a Nintendo that I still have to do that with.
Yeah, but it's such a bummer. I was hyped for a good like 16 hours, and then my dreams are crushed. I'm like, oh man, they're making something like this. This is awesome.
So, are you gonna go with one of those Asus?
Nah, I don't know, man, because like if that thing does come out in October, by that time we should be hearing rumblings of like the Switch 2, and that's obviously like, why would I have two handhelds? That's
It's not going to be as powerful as that, though.
It won't be, but I mean, it's got to be it's got to be probably on par with the Steam Deck, probably, you would think.
I would hope so. It has to be at least that powerful.
So I was thinking I have that. I pre-ordered that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom edition Switch, and I'm like, man, that's like right around my birthday. Maybe I should just get the Steam Deck instead. But like I said, I don't want to be stuck in two different ecosystems, and it's like, all right, well, like if any third-party games come out, that I want to play, I'm gonna get them on the PS5 because like it's not like I'm like on the road like playing this thing every day. So what am I gonna do? Double dip and just play it on the Steam Deck, and it's gonna be kind of I don't know a waste,
Or not.
or will be.
Or will be.
It will be. But I'm just super intrigued about the device. It's cool. I'd love to have it for like if I go on vacation or something. But
This is me trying to get you onto Steam with me.
yeah, I don't think so.
Join us.
No,
One of us.
Nope. Don't like you. You're the only one of the kind that I like. That's it. We don't want your kind around here. But yeah, I don't know that ROGLI thing. Like honestly, if that thing comes out, reviews are good, and it has Game Pass games on it, then that might be the one that I end up getting. Really, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because like
just
the cloud streaming stuff doesn't do me no good because I use this stuff on vacation, and when we go on vacation, like there's Wi-Fi, but it's not like the best Wi-Fi. It's not streamable Wi-Fi. So like,
I'll do some test runs with Xbox Game Pass on PC. I'll disconnect my internet and see if I'm still able to play some of the games I've downloaded. And if I'm able to, then that makes that device worth it. If it does like the Nintendo Switch thing, I think you need to check in with your games like
oh yeah, it's like,
once, and they're good for a week.
hey, you don't own this.
Yeah, I hate seeing that.
So
I
yeah,
get that a lot on Xbox whenever the internet goes down.
I game share now with my kid, and so like his system is my main account or my main box. So if like the internet goes down, I can't play my games on my system downstairs. So yeah,
That's my exact situation with my wife. She's a game share with her on the Xbox, and if the internet goes down, I can't play games in the living room.
yeah,
But I go to the bedroom and play them.
yep. Yeah, but
Oh,
we'll see.
and
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear more about this Asus thing, and I just feel like work. So what are we? We're like already a year. Are we 2 years going to be? This should be 2 years into the Steam Deck, right? This fall?
I don't remember exactly when it dropped, but I think this fall will be 2
I
years.
feel like
And they're already working on the new one, but
I
it's a
know.
ways off.
Yeah, how much is it weighs? Is it 2 years? I'm like,
Probably because
yeah,
the Steam Deck is a success. They're selling them. It's making them money. They're going to want to make more, but it's still profitable the way it is now. So why speed out a second one when the current one's making money?
right.
Maybe this Asus will make them churn out one faster, but Valve does whatever the hell they want to do. They don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, totally. They're
Look at all the stuff they've made.
right. Those controllers, the Steam. Well, they didn't make the Steam. Remember the Steam consoles? What were they? Steam box.
It was like a license deal where
Right.
they licensed it out to like Alienware and some other companies.
Yeah.
I wish I had one of those Steam controllers. I wish I had a Steam Stream Deck, I think they were called too. I'll have to check eBay and see if I can't get any of those. They were neat ideas. They look cool. I just want them for the curiosity of it.
So what's weird about this thing, this PlayStation 5 remote play thing that kind of ties into like another smaller topic we didn't discuss last week was so PSVR 2 supposedly launched and has sold like 270,000 units, I guess, in its first, I don't know, however long. And there's people coming out and say that they've cut like production by 20% and they might have to lower the price and stuff, and it just seems like
They need to lower the price. That's too much. It's more than
the PS5 system itself is doing great. Like I think it broke like February's record in the US for console sales, and it's selling great. But like they just this thing, and then I love my PSVR too, but I know they launched it at a bad time.
bad time and bad price.
Yeah, I mean, for what the price for what it is, The tech is really good. The tech is really good. It's worth $550, but it doesn't mean people are gonna want to buy it for $550. You
Why do
know,
you think I haven't bought one yet?
I think the Quest 2 has sold like 20 million. I don't know if that was. I think that was reported actually by Meta last year.
Yeah, and that thing's kind of a hunk of junk. It's,
It's.
it's why I've been avoiding it. I don't want to say. I
I
say
think
junk.
junk
And
is
I'm
like
kind of joking.
really strong. Yeah, it's good for what it is. Okay, it's good for what it was when it was $100 cheaper. When they went and raised the price last year, and then I was like, "Woof, you're getting into you're in like, well, you're not necessarily in PlayStation VR territory, but you're in like, all right, I gotta think about this one before I buy it territory, you know, because I think it was 199 and 299, and then it went to 299 and 399. I think.
Yeah, that's too
Yes,
much for the tech that's in that headset
right,
currently.
totally, yeah. But I mean, it's good tech. Like I was super impressed with it, but like I knew that they were going to be in a rough spot launching this thing. One, it's wired, which I don't care what anybody says. When it's the wire is a pain in the ass when you're playing stand up games. The price is tough. I know the price is it's a rough price. 550 is a lot. It's worth it, but it's a lot. And then they didn't market it. This thing's only available like if you wanted it. Do you even know where you could get it from?
I have no clue.
It's not
But I
sold in
haven't even
stores.
looked.
It's not sold in stores in the U.S. You can only get it through PlayStation Direct. They don't market it. Have you seen anything on it really, other than maybe like a trailer?
And on top of that, you got the confusion of PSVR 1 games not working on PSVR 2.
Right, that whole issue. Yeah, I mean, I could see they use different tech, but like, hey, that's not my problem. It's your problem. Go fix it. Make it work. Like, you should. They should have. There was no announcements like they. We're working with our partners that made these PSVR 1 games to bring your as much of your library over as we can. But there was nothing like that, and
Nothing like that. And then it seems kind of shady because I was on the PlayStation Store a couple days ago and I saw PSVR 1 games on sale. And
right.
you're going to have people with a PSVR 2 buy those games and they're
And
not
then
going to
not be able to
understand why
play
they're
them.
not
Yeah.
working.
Well, I don't obviously probably not because there's not many people that bought a PSVR 2. So
I
I don't know how
suppose
many.
so.
Yeah, I don't know how many
But you
people are gonna
definitely
buy
would
it.
have that
Right.
if it was
Yeah.
a bigger market.
Like I think the people who bought it are the hardcore of the hardcore of the hardcore, like a niche of a niche of a niche. Probably the same like
Like
market.
a Fusion 64 kind of
Yes.
person.
But the same amount of people that are going to buy this stupid ass remote play controller thing, probably.
Hey, if it's under $100 for that remote
It's
play
not going to
controller,
be. It's
I'll
not going to
try
be.
it. We know it's not
It's
going to
not
be. I'm
going to
just
be.
saying,
Yeah. It's going to be
when it goes into the discount bin and Sony's like, we're no longer supporting
like the PlayStation TV.
the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
I should have got one of those PlayStation TVs.
But it just sucks because like this stuff, like the people who make me mad are like, there's no games for it. It's like, dude, there's 40 games on there. They're not all good, but there's some really good games on there. And people are like, I want new things, I want new experiences. There's are all new experiences for like millions of people, millions upon millions of people. Like there's some really good. This game running the screen right now, Walking Dead, is amazing, and like people just don't know it. They just assume like, oh, there's no good games on there. Like, and it's like you gotta kind of like gotta support stuff if you want it to grow. And this thing's I'm kind of worried about VR that it's not gonna grow.
Right.
Like, cause I think Meta was cruising with the Quest 2 and still they raised the price, and I haven't heard any updates about how it's doing, but I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like the Meta got that hype, kind of like the PlayStation Wii did, the original
Right.
Wii, where everyone bought it,
Yeah,
and then they just had it sitting there and nobody ever played it.
yeah,
Everybody and their mother owned Wii Bowling or Wii Sports,
it just sucks. It doesn't. I
but
don't
nobody
know.
plays them now.
Yeah,
I mean,
they just
not
had
that I blame people; it's so old, but
they just had a bad strategy with the VR. I don't know. It sucks. I hopefully they can turn it around, and it does. But it's just tough to sell something like that in an economy like this.
yeah, and I really want to get into it, but part of what we just been talking about is why I haven't gotten into it. Because what if I'm going to spend money and then suddenly, like on a PSVR 2, and Sony's like, "Oh, we're discontinuing
Right.
PSVR 2 are no longer putting out games for it, first party games for it.
Or
And it's like,
not
well,
even
what
that.
the
How
hell?
if you buy it and you get sick all the time?
Well, that too. I
Right.
need to try VR, but I'm not going to go somewhere
Right. I mean,
public and
I
put
think
on.
it's a tough sell. I mean, that's why like I what's great about the Quest 2 is it's cordless. Like you can take it anywhere. Oh, if I wanted to show you this PSVR 2, I'd have to go over, or you'd have to go over to my house, or
Yeah,
like,
let me come over and I'll put on the helmet and I'll vomit all over your floor,
right, or
and then I'll know for sure whether or not I'm able to get a VR headset.
or word of mouth. Like if I wanted to bring this to a party or something, I got to bring like a suitcase for this giant PS5 and like all the other stuff. Whereas like the Quest, it's just a little bag. You bring it with you, and you're good. Which is, I don't think it's not the wire's fault, but like there's a lot of different factors of why it's supposedly struggling, but it just sucks because I enjoy it. I think it's a good system with some good games, but I don't know. They just between that and
More is
this,
always better. New is always good.
right?
We're just in a bad time right now, and I think Sony made some bad choices releasing it at the price they did when they did.
Yep. They should have. They
And
should have. I mean, I honestly think I know it's super impressive, but this should have been like $300. They should have tried to find some way, not put all like the crazy tech into it and get it to around $300.
put some time into maybe not getting the games, the PlayStation 1 VR games to run natively on there, but maybe build some sort of emulator
Right.
like they did for the original PlayStation 3 that played the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games, like they used to do. Like they used to care about their backlog, their back library.
Yeah.
Do something like that. Like it didn't need to play the games natively, but at least making sure that it continued to use people's libraries. I'm sure you would have got more investors.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a bummer, but other than that, I think what did we had Xbox the family plan, right? The Game Pass family plan did that launch in New Zealand?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to it because it just
Or
doesn't
was it
seem
something that it
appealing to
came
me.
up somewhere and we were talking about it was like $40 in New Zealand and somebody converted that to $25 in the US possibly. I don't know. I know it hasn't officially launched here. I don't know about New Zealand if that was just a rumor or if it actually did launch there, but
I haven't been paying attention to this one because I'm kind of forced into my Game Pass subscription because I did the all access to get my Series X.
oh, okay. Well,
So I've been
that
making
did protect
monthly payments.
does protect you from any price increases at least.
Yeah, I think I'm done paying for it this year though. So,
Nice.
and I'm gonna have to start buying Game Pass. So that's kind of why I didn't want to
CD
pay in touch
keys.
with this.
CD keys.
Yeah, yeah, I'll consider that. I've bought some discontinued Steam games on there. I bought a Rambo game on there, which
I
is terrible.
I bought like 18 months of Game Pass last year for like $100 on CD keys. Maybe it was like 120.
That's a good deal. That's what I'll have to
Yeah,
wind up
it was
doing.
like 30% off, so that's
Because
pretty
this
good.
month-to-month shit is ridiculous. Especially if they, because I game share with my wife, right?
Yeah.
And if they force me to upgrade to $25 a month just because of that, I'll be mad.
Right.
But if
Oh
it's
yeah,
more like,
because she can't. Oh yeah, because you can't do two, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't look into it yet, so I don't know. I've been actively avoiding it because I don't want to be upset about this.
Too funny. That's funny.
But if it's something similar to, I don't know, the Switch one isn't even that good. The Switch family pass is not that good. So I don't have anything good to compare it to. I'm just
It's
concerned
80
that
bucks. 80
they're
bucks, I think, for like is it 3 or 5 people?
for the Switch.
Yeah, the family one. I have it. I know it's $80. I don't remember if it's 3 or 5 different people.
I was up there like 8 people.
Maybe. I just have it
Yeah.
for me and my son. So, and I like it. It's like it's cozy knowing that I have all those old games just sitting there that I'm not gonna play through.
I keep saying I'm gonna play the Minish Cap since they released that.
Yep, same here, and I haven't.
Exactly.
Same here. So, we have. What did we have? One more thing I wanted to touch on before we got out of here. What was it? Oh yeah, that control. There was a patent leak for PlayStation 5 DualSense that changes temperature with depending on what you're playing. Like I
I
guess
don't
I
think
don't
that's
know.
going to be real.
That seems wild.
That sounds ridiculous.
Sounds wild. Like what if it like malfunctions and burns your fucking hand all up?
Like that lady from the 80s that burned her crotch with McDonald's coffee.
Yeah.
So now you get every time you get the coffee, like all these kids, these younger kids probably don't know why you get that little sleeve on your coffee when you go
Yep.
to McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's all because of that lady.
I'll be
I don't
sticking.
remember who she is. I just remember she burned her crotch, and now we have to have little paper things on our
I'm gonna be
coffee cups.
wait till it comes out. I'm gonna be sticking that in my pants and be like, "Oh, I'm suing you, Sony. You burned my wang." Oh yeah, I don't know. That might be something that might be neat, but it also like, I don't know. That seems kind of weird.
And then the next step is what? Smello controller?
Right, totally. You're gonna just smell
Controller that emits
burnt.
smells
You're gonna be smelling burnt rubber while you're playing Gran Turismo 10.
or burning flesh as you're playing some other
Yeah.
game with fire.
No thanks.
I'll pass.
Yeah, it's a little too real for me. All
I
right.
don't even like the touchpad on the PlayStation controller now. It just seems gimmicky.
I don't use it much. It's a button.
I hate when games force you to use it. Like I was playing. Actually, yeah, I have another game to add to our what you've been playing. I restarted Days Gone
Oh
on the
God.
PS5.
That's all for today,
And-
folks. We'll see.
Hey, it's a good game.
It's a fine game. It's a fine game.
Yeah, it's an alright game.
What did it? I don't remember what it makes you use in that. What does it make you use?
You got to swipe different directions to get to like your inventory and the map.
Oh, okay. You're
Like I
right.
think swiping
Yeah.
right is to the map,
Yeah.
left is like your menu. I forget what up and down is, but yeah, I just don't like. Just give me a button.
You're right.
I want a button.
Good call. Yeah.
And then that got me to thinking, like, what about when games they want to release games like that to PC?
Yeah.
Like they released Days Gone on PC, and they of course don't have that. I'm not sure if you have a PlayStation controller hooked up, if you still could use it that way. But it just moved it to a button. But what about games like Ghosts of Tushi, as I like to call it?
Oh yeah. Do you remember like all the Vita games that used like the touch screen and then like those ones? I don't think they made those ones for the PlayStation TV thing. Those were
No, the
games
one
that
where you had to
work.
put your finger through the back to poke through the paper. What was that called?
Oh,
Something
Tearaway.
Tearaway?
Tearaway, yeah. That's a pretty neat game.
Yeah, that game was cool.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is cool. I just don't like it in every game.
Right.
Like in Ghosts of Tsushima, I don't like flipping that pad to make the wind blow. Give me a button.
Oh yeah, you swipe it, right?
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
And I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what button are they going to assign it to, like on a regular Xbox controller for when they bring that game to PC?
Right.
Because it uses all the other buttons.
Huh. That's interesting. Maybe like left it like hit two buttons at the same time or something.
Maybe it'll be that little window button,
Oh yeah, the cheeseburger button or the window button.
the window button, cheeseburger button.
Oh God. All right. You got anything else?
Yeah. You know what? Greg Miller sucks.
Oh, Russ. Speaking of that, we did talk about WrestleMania. What did you think?
It was my first WrestleMania since I was a kid,
Yeah, I'm trying to
and
think of- I watched. Did I watch last year's? I don't remember. I think I might have watched last year's because we were starting. It was like our first full year watching wrestling again. So yeah,
yeah, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
yeah, I did too. I liked the first night was really good.
Except when I saw him.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first night, and then the second night I didn't. I was upset that Cody Rhodes lost, and so I was mad, and
Yeah, but that's going to make a good comeback story for the rest of the year, right?
I don't know.
He's going to
Rhodes.
join up with somebody, maybe with Kevin Owens and them.
I don't. It was a spectacle. That first night was really good. That first, I thought the Brock Lesnar Omos fight was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a spectacle. It was some wild shit happening. Other than that, I didn't care for much of the matches in the second night.
No. What about Shane McMahon?
Oh my God! And he came out. I'm like, oh, Shane O'Mac, and oh, he's down. He's down. He's down. He blew his quad out.
Was
Oh
that real or fake? I
no, that was
never.
real. Yeah,
Oh, that
yeah,
was real.
that was real.
Well, good on Snoop Dogg running in there
He
to
just
save the show.
clocking the Miz. It's so funny seeing the Miz wrestle because like I just remember him from like the MTV stuff. He was on like the Road Rules Real World Challenge and stuff.
You mean you don't remember him from the Marine 3, 4, and 5?
No,
Was it?
no, I don't. Oh yeah, there's a lot of like WWE movies that like nobody's ever seen that are like really bad. Like they're like straight to DVD movies.
I seen a couple of them. One of them was really good with like Kane. I think it was like Hear No Evil or See No Evil or something like that.
Oh
It
God,
was okay.
yeah.
It was an okay horror movie for the time. And then John Cena was the original The Marine,
He
and that's
was.
all I really
I've
remember.
never seen that movie either.
I don't remember if it was good or not, but I know I seen it.
Oh God, that's too funny.
But yeah, WrestleMania was fun. It was a good time. I'll probably keep tuning in throughout the year and keep up with the storylines.
Right. I mean,
Not
even
the
like
biggest fan, but it was something new.
I wouldn't want to pay for that, but I mean, it's on Peacock. It's free, so it's like, why not?
Well, you're paying for Peacock.
No, actually, I might get it free with my Xfinity subscription. So I mean,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, well, I'm paying for it. I'm a fool then.
I don't know how we get that from our Xfinity and HBO Max. We get from our phones. So like, I don't pay. We don't pay for like those two.
Well, I guess I'm just a sucker then.
I don't know how we got it. So, but we got it.
Well, yeah, free is good.
Free is always
And then
good.
being able to watch all those classic.
Oh man, that's
WrestleMania.
like the stuff I put on before I go to bed. It's like I'll just find something like from like the late '90s and put it on, or early 2000s.
That's how I got back into it. I found him on YouTube, and I started watching a couple with my wife, and then we really got into it. And I was like, well, where can I watch this now? And then I was like, Peacock. And I was like, all right, I'll pay for it.
And that's like like these wrestling shows are like have turned like my what I used to watch like all like video game podcasts and stuff. It's now like wrestling podcasts. So like yeah,
No, I'm not that deep. I'm not going to go
I'm
that
down.
deep.
I'm deep in the rabbit hole. I'm deep in the rabbit hole.
You are deep in the wrestling hole.
I am. Yeah. So between like
Deep in the Mrs. hole.
and I watch AEW too, so that's like another 2 hours a week that I'm watching wrestling. So yeah.
Oh, man. We just watched Raw, and then we recently started watching SmackDown a little bit.
Yeah, I
here
got
and
him
there.
all in the DVR. So me and the kid will watch him. He usually falls asleep within the first hour, and then yeah.
It was a good time. I wound up. I actually did play another game. I played a little bit more of WWE 2K. What year? Last year's.
22. Yeah, we got that. My
Was
kid's
that
got it on
22?
his. Yeah, he's got it. It's a fun game. I've been thinking about getting 23, but it's like, maybe with that first sale it comes out, I'll get it.
Yeah, it's a little pricey, and
Right.
I hope it's better than 22 because I was playing it on the PS5, and
It's
the
challenging.
load times
Oh,
are
really?
insane. Yeah, it has ridiculous load times.
I didn't
Like I
really
was
pay
creating a
attention to that.
character, and every time you slide back and forth between your selection, it has to load. It just seems
Oh, okay.
really unoptimized. And but other than that, once you get into a fight and start wrestling, it's a lot of fun.
I haven't messed with that. We just play like the regular matches, and there doesn't seem much load time in that. But
And then I try to do the My Rise, I think, which is your career. There was a lot of loading in that too.
really, I wanted
Yeah.
to try like how they have like the ultimate team modes and stuff like that. There's one of those modes in the WWE 2K23 game. I want to kind of try that out and see how it is. Because of course, I guess that's where like all of like the old costumes and stuff for guys are locked behind that product pretty much.
I've only played a little bit of it, so I
So,
can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But it seems like it would be fun with a group of friends.
Right, totally. The AEW game that's coming out is basically plays like No Mercy, the old N64 game. So I'm excited about that.
I have no clue. You know, the last wrestling game I actually bought.
You've kind
And
of
owned.
played those N64 ones, didn't you?
Nope, I never owned an N64.
Oh my god.
I had a friend that had all of them. I never played them at his house, though. I
Oh, that's
don't
sad.
remember what. I think I was bringing my Dreamcast over to his house, and we would play Dreamcast instead of his Nintendo 64. But he had all those games. The last wrestling game I had was actually on the Dreamcast, and it was the Royal Rumble, and that game was awesome.
That's sad. You've never played those. Those are amazing.
And then before that was the original PlayStation 1, which I still have this disc. SmackDown. I think the
SmackDown.
original SmackDown game on PlayStation 1.
I think I stopped playing the wrestling games in the GameCube, N64, PS2 era, roughly, like midway through.
Oh, and I have 2K16, but I've never played it because it was a free Games with Gold game on Xbox.
But for a while there, they got too complicated.
And broken.
Yeah, yeah. I think like, wasn't there one year recently, like 2 years ago, that was really bad?
On release, 22 was really bad,
Was it?
from what I remember. Yeah.
Mm. No, I'm excited about the AW game because it plays like just like the N64 ones, and those are like everybody loves those. They're super simple to play, and it's not gonna be like visually striking as WWE, but
We need more of that.
yeah,
More games where you could sit on your couch with four people, play a stupid wrestling game where you can mash a button, and the least drunk person probably wins because they're mashing the button faster, or the person's so drunk they're mashing the button super fast and wins.
dude.
I don't know. I miss those days.
Like seriously, and this is why I think I love Resident Evil 4 so much. Is like it's just fun, and it doesn't like overstay its welcome. It's not like trying to fill. There's no filler in there. Like it's not like it's 5 hours, 10 hours. Games are too damn long. They're too damn long. This game is 17 hours.
That could be why I enjoyed my time with the Chant. While I still don't think it was a good game, I don't think it was a great game. I don't think it was a terrible game. It was a point A to point B game, and I beat it in 6 hours, and that was refreshing.
Right.
It wasn't an Ubisoft 60 hours in the open world collecting things and climbing towers.
Like God of War 2018 is an amazing game. Same with the Ragnarok, but like I'm never gonna play those games ever again, probably ever. It's just too damn long. Like I could pop into any of these Resident Evil games like on a weekend and be like, oh hey, you know what? I'm gonna play one of these. Go all the way through.
Or you do like me and you pop on God of War and you play for like 2 hours and then you go back in like 2 years and play for another 2 hours. You don't remember how to control. How do I throw my axe?
Dude, I feel like these developers are just trying. They're just trying to give people as much value, quote unquote value, in these games as. And it's not. It's unnecessary. They really? It's unnecessary.
Because then you have Ubisoft who makes these games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is an insane open world, and then they throw on DLC with new maps and new storylines, just adding more and more content and charging you more and more for it.
Yeah, but
when are we going to say that's enough?
I know Valhalla is like they should have cut that game in half and sold it to you as DLC. Like, okay, I want games to be shorter. I think that's why I
agree.
I like that, like the Spider-Man game. Spider-Man was like 20, I think it was like 20 hours to platinum, roughly, maybe the first one. And then Miles Morales was like 10 hours basically to play. And I think it glitched on me, so I couldn't get one of the trophies. So I just played it again to platinum it because like there was like no filler in that game. It was just like boom, 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 boom. There was like one thing of collectibles, I think, and that's it really. And it's like make your games, make them better, not longer.
Make them work on day one.
Right, yeah. We can't even get that. Jeez. At least RE was working on day one, so let's give them credit for that too. It's Capcom. I'm going to just start buying. I forgot about Devil May Cry 5 too. I need to go back and finish that. Like
I do too. That game was awesome. Right? I haven't beaten it yet, but it was awesome.
That's another one. Yep. But as soon as that, damn it, I just passed the Capcom sale on PS5 too. As soon as that one goes back on sale, I'm going to buy that again.
And you know what Capcom has coming out is those Mega Man Battle Network games in a collection.
Yeah.
They've got 2 collections of those. I think those were Game Boy Advance games. Isn't that when they started, or was it later?
Yeah. No, I think
were they DS games?
I think they were.
I never got a chance to play those.
I didn't either. Yeah, I have the original Mega Man collection on PlayStation.
Anyways, I brought that up to say how awesome Capcom is that they're releasing new stuff like that, and they're respecting their old properties to bring it out in collections like that.
What do you think they're going to remake next? Which Resident Evil game? I think they're going to go to 5 next.
No.
I would like them to do 1. I think that 5 sold so well that I think they're going to go back and do 5, I think.
It doesn't fit with the way the new ones are, though.
Yeah. I would like them to redo one and make it like modern, like with modern controls. But I think that would
Because
be
then you could
would be
have
really
1,
short.
2, 3, 4, and then you hit 5.
Yeah, I would prefer them to do that, but I just have a feeling that they teased 5 at the end of 4, really. So sorry to spoil it, but
Damn it.
they teased it at the end of 4. Like nobody cares.
But
about
you know
the
what? That
story.
also gets people to buy 5 that never played 5, though, too.
Right, that's true.
Which I believe they had issues with on PC, and they finally fixed not too long ago.
No, a game with on PC having issues, that's unheard of.
Capcom does have to step up their game and fix one game for me, and that is Street Fighter versus Tekken. Still has games with Window Live
Wasn't there
issues.
there was supposed to be a Tekken versus Street Fighter that never came out, correct?
Yeah, but I don't think Street Fighter versus Tekken did very well.
No, probably not. Otherwise, it would have.
I still liked it. I like that goofy ass Mega Man looking old beer drinking character they had in that game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go 5. I don't think I would prefer them to do 1, but 1's a short game. Like you could plow through that one really quickly. I mean, they could add some stuff to it, but
They need to remake those ones that were on PlayStation 1. What the hell were they called? Where it was almost like a light gun shooter.
oh, the Chronicles.
That's it. Where you walk in first
Yeah.
person, and then you stop and aim, and a little cursor comes up, and you move the cursor to shoot.
Yeah,
I don't remember if those used guns or not. The light guns. But I had one of them on PlayStation. It was super cool.
the Revelations games are pretty good too.
Yeah, those are really good. What about Resident Evil 0?
I've not beaten that one. I've played some of it, and then I basically played through the story on the Wii Umbrella Chronicles. So I've kind of played it.
I played.
That would be nice. They should do both of those. They should do like a remake of 0 and 1 and package them together.
Just start playing at 0 and just move right into 1.
Yep.
That would be cool.
And then like they must have 2 teams like doing these because you're getting 8 and 4 so close together. So
We know we're really going to get 9 first, though.
right, yeah. Have a team doing 9, have a team doing another remake, and boom. Capcom, they might be now my favorite like developer now. Now that I think about it, the past going back here since the middle of last generation to now.
I'm going to hold my comments on that because we're going to see how, what is it, Exo Primal?
Oh yeah.
That has me worried. That looks like a flop waiting to happen.
That doesn't seem that's not a me game anyway, so we'll see. If it hits, it's just a bonus.
I hope it comes out and it's cool and you can play it single player and it's not forced games as a service on you. Because then I could say, Capcom's the powerhouse.
Right.
More companies need to be like Capcom, but
They do. Well, I think that's a show today. What do you think?
I think that's the end.
We had another pretty good one. We're on a roll.
You know what?
3 straight weeks.
We need you viewers to leave us comments. Let us know what you would like us to talk about, hear more about.
And make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to be doing this hopefully every Thursday. If not, I'll put notices up. So
I'll be here every Thursday for it while I can, until I'm in a wheelchair, and maybe you'll be wheeling me around and we'll still do the podcast.
maybe I'll push you down the stairs.
And I'll be like, remember Sega?
Remember the
I had a
Dreamcast?
Sega.
Remember the Dreamcast?
It had the VMUs. You put it in the controller.
Oh, God. All right, buddy. Everybody have a good night, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.